Welcome to Inspiration Education video series created by professionals from Onjob Training Academy based on ebook Why and How Education is One of the Best Gifts to Daughters, a complete guide to parents and daughters. This video is based on lesson title, What Does Education Truly Mean? So I'm absolutely thrilled you've joined me today for this explainer. We're going to explore something that is truly foundational to how we shape the future, especially for the young women in our lives.
It is such an absolute privilege to guide you through these invaluable lessons today. We're going to unpack these ideas together, and I promise you it's going to completely change how you view learning and growth.
Okay, let's just dive right in, shall we? When you hear the word education, what pops into your head first? I bet for a lot of us, our brains instantly picture traditional classrooms, heavy textbooks, stressful exams, or maybe a framed degree hanging up on a wall, right? But what if I told you that real education is far, far more than what happens inside the four walls of a school? The structured environment of a classroom is really just a tiny fraction of the whole journey.
True education is actually way deeper than that. It's the lifelong process of discovering yourself, understanding the world around you, and learning how to live with real purpose, dignity, and courage. Think of it like a light that guides a young girl confidently through the dark times. It's literally the ultimate map that shows her she has the power to design her very own destiny. It teaches her to think, to question, and to grow. And this beautiful journey starts way before she ever steps foot in a classroom.
Now, we kind of tend to mix up schooling with education, don't we? But there's a huge difference. Formal education, the schooling part, gives a daughter knowledge. It teaches her reading, science, numbers. That's the how-to of the world. But informal education, the stuff that happens at home, in her community, and through her everyday lived experiences, that gives her wisdom. It instills empathy, strong values, and courage. Both are absolutely essential, but it's that informal education that truly shapes her character.
Because it really boils down to this. Knowledge gives you power, for sure. But education gives you direction. A truly educated daughter isn't just someone who can recite a bunch of facts or pass a standardized test. She's someone who knows how to think, rather than just waiting to be told what to think. She has an open mind, deep awareness, and the direction to actually use her power wisely.
Let me tell you a quick story to show you exactly what I mean. This is Ananya from a small town in Rajasthan. When she was a little girl, she used to just hang around watching her dad fix bicycles. While other kids were playing, she was quietly figuring out how the gears and brakes worked together. Years later, when she went off to study mechanical engineering, she already understood machines better than most of her classmates. Why? Because her foundational learning, her sheer curiosity, started right there at home, long before she ever put on a school uniform.
And then there's Mina's story, which is just incredible. She was literally the very first girl in her rural village to finish high school. But she didn't just take her diploma and leave. She turned right around and started teaching basic English and computer skills to the other women in her village. Because of Mina, those women started applying for small online jobs. Education gave Mina her independence, but through her, it created this massive ripple effect that empowered an entire community. It's like a spark that catches fire.
Because of that kind of empowerment, an educated daughter never has to stay silent out of fear or dependence. She develops this profound inner strength. She becomes wonderfully capable of looking at any challenge in life and saying, you know what? I can manage this. I can learn this. I can stand on my own 2 feet. And that right there is the true sound of independence.
All right, moving on to Section 2, the power of choice, making decisions by herself, not for herself.
This is absolutely crucial. When you educate a girl, you give her the right to dream, the right to decide, and the right to define her own destiny. Without education, the world so often just makes choices for a woman. But with an educated, awakened mind, she chooses her career, her lifestyle, and her life partner with absolute wisdom, rather than just caving to societal pressures.
Take Ria, for example. She really wanted to be a graphic designer, but her relatives were totally against it. They told her it wasn't a secure job, that she was taking a huge risk. But Ria had the tools to learn. She went online, taught herself new skills, built a stunning portfolio, and today, she's working with international clients right from the comfort of her own space. She overcame all that discouragement because her educated mind gave her a much broader perspective.
Her education gave her the ultimate confidence to look at all those doubts and triumphantly declare, I'll create my own security. She didn't need to fit into someone else's pre-existing box. She had the exact tools needed to build her own.
So, a well-educated daughter is a real game changer. She doesn't accept injustice silently. She communicates her ideas clearly. She knows how to negotiate, she collaborates, and she actively inspires others. Imagine a young woman sitting at a family discussion about finances. Instead of staying quiet, she confidently suggests investing in skill training for her younger cousins. Actually, her well-reasoned opinion literally changes her family's entire financial approach. That is empowered education in action.
Which brings us to Section 3, Values and Empathy. A well-educated mind and a kind heart create real strength.
You know, education isn't just a one-and-done deal. It's a lifelong companion that evolves right alongside her. In Phase 1, as a student, she learns her subjects. In Phase 2, stepping out as a professional, she learns discipline and teamwork. In Phase 3, maybe as a mother, she learns incredible patience. And in Phase 4, as a citizen of the world, she learns deep, profound empathy. It's a continuous, beautiful evolution.
And learning adapts to every single season of life. Just look at Jaya. She's a 45-year-old homemaker. After her kids finished college and left the nest, she didn't just stop. She enrolled in an online baking diploma, mastered it, and eventually opened this gorgeous little cafe. Now, her loyal customers affectionately call her Auntie Chef. Her story is living proof that the expiration date on learning is literally never.
All right, bringing us to our final section, your greatest investment, gifting confidence, safety, and self-worth.
I want to speak directly to the parents watching this for a second. Every single rupee, every ounce of effort you put into your daughter's education is a generational investment. You are gifting her an invisible armor of confidence and safety. And to the daughters out there, study to understand life, not just to pass your exams. Remember this, gold can be lost, property can be divided, but knowledge only grows the more you share it. Let your education make you truly wise.
If this explainer sparks something for you today, I highly encourage you to dive even deeper into this transformative subject. Just scan the QR code you see or check the description below to grab the full ebook, Why and How Education is One of the Best Gifts to Daughters. It's a fantastic guide created by the Onjob Training Academy. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today, and keep learning.